Hello everyone, today I'm going to introduce a Chinese herbal formula for trigeminal facial pain. It's also called trigeminal neuralgia, this disease. First, I want to say I'm not a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. Actually, I'm a reincarnation researcher and investigator. Okay. But my mother got this disease about 10 years ago. So I know a lot of related information about this disease. At the same time, I'm also a super TCM fan. So because my father's grandfather was a TCM doctor. So when I was in primary school, I began to read some TCM books because at that time there's no such other extracurricular books. Okay. So this disease is very painful. In China, people say, the Chinese doctors say, this is the worst painful disease. So it's very acute. It's very difficult to bear the suffering. So my mother also got the disease, and first she took some Western medicine. At the very beginning weeks, it worked. Then it didn't work. So there's nothing else. There was nothing else we can do. The doctor says, okay, there was no medicine can cure this disease. So your mother maybe have to bear the pain for the rest of her life. I was so sad. And then I heard from some big hospitals in Shanghai that they can do some surgery. They imported some very expensive machines from United States to do the surgery. Basically, the machine, the surgery, will paralyze your, maybe paralyze the nerves. So you will lose some partial functions of the nerves. Then you may not feel the pain, but there's a cost. Maybe it's very difficult for you to make any facial expressions. Okay. So at that time it was very hard for me and for my mother, and fortunately I encountered a retired teacher. So I was born in 1970s, so that retired teacher was also much older than me, and he has a friend from Beijing. His friend is a very famous traditional Chinese doctor. And it's very Chinese TCM doctor is very different from other doctors. They use a very unique method to diagnose the disease. Usually, it's called pulse taking. They use 3 fingers put here. So here means liver. This pulse is for liver, and the middle one will indicate some syndromes on your liver. So then kidney. So pulse taking. And the retired teacher told me this is a very easy thing because I have a formula described by a very famous TCM old doctor from Beijing, and it is very effective. I have cured more than decades of the patients. Usually you need only 3 bags of herbs and boil, and then let the patient drink. So 3 packs, one packs for 1 day, so 3 days, basically 3 days. He told me he is very confident. He told me that usually most of the patients only need 3 package, 3 doses. So it's all kinds of plants, roots, okay, some very traditional Chinese medicine. So you just boil. I was how to say, I was thrilled. I was so excited at that time because I was also trying my best to find some special effective formula, Chinese formula for my mother. But unfortunately, even in China, nowadays it is very difficult to find a qualified TCM doctor to diagnose. So usually you can copy some formulas from the internet, from books, but you can't, it's very difficult to find a living person to diagnose with the pulse taking. So my suggestions to visit a TCM doctor is that you'd better keep silent when you sit down before the TCM doctor. Just give them the wrist, the left wrist and the right wrist, and give them 10 minutes. After the pulse taking, a qualified TCM doctor is supposed to acquire all the essential information from the pulse taking and analyze and the situation of your body, and then he can make a decision actually without talking anything with you. Of course, talking is also important because the talking is a measure, a procedure to make sure that his diagnosis through pulse taking is correct. But they should diagnose independently only through the pulse taking. 3 fingers on pulse taking. So it's very, even in China, it's very difficult to find. So the retired teacher was he just 3 days later he returned and brought me 3 bags of traditional Chinese medicine. So then, because in China, most middle-aged people, old people in China, they know how to cook. It's not cook. They know how to boil the Chinese medicine. Just put them in a pot. Don't use a stainless pot, a cooker. I think a pot, like a poultry pot, is the best. It's boil. So you can check the information from the internet. And then it's bitter. It's like a juice. It's like some coffee, but very bitter. And then my mother drank the Chinese medicine, and on the second day, actually, he was cured, and all the pain disappeared. Not forever. I'm sorry, I have to admit, not forever. He was cured, and then the disease returned 5 years later. Unfortunately, so that the retired doctor is still living, so I have to beg from him to buy some medicine according his secret formula. And the second time, also 3 bags of TCM medicine. My mother was recovered, cured again for the second time 5 years later for the first initial disease. And then last year, okay, his disease recovered again, but it doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter. retained, then boil again the medicine, the same formula, the same medicine, then cured, completely recovered after the disease, the medicine. So you only need 3 days to cure the disease. This disease is, they are, if you search the internet with the help of a Chinese friend, he or she can find more than maybe 20 different formula about the same disease. So this is the difference. This is the difference of Chinese medicine. Usually, in Western medicine, one medicine for all patients usually, but in Chinese medicine, usually the best way is one formula for a specific patient, because even you share the identical, similar symptoms, but the reason could be very different. For example, like 2%, Tom and John, both of them have very serious like insomnia. But in Western medicine, okay, insomnia means you can't go to sleep. Okay, your central nerve is too excited, so the doctor will prescribe some sleep pills. Okay, the same symptoms, the same medicine is very fair. It's very normal. But in Chinese medicine, no, it's very different. Okay, they have the identical symptoms. Okay, the same signs, but the reason could be very different. One person maybe has a liver problem. The fire is too strong in the person's liver, and the fire just go up to your brain, so you can't go to sleep. This is one reason. There's other reason like kidney, like intestines, like a weak spleen, all kinds of different reasons. So different reasons, different formula. That's why it's the misunderstanding about Chinese medicine is very popular. It's very common. A lot of patients, including Chinese, of course, including a lot of foreigners, they heard some formula from somebody. They said, okay, it's I got the disease, I used this formula, and my disease was cured. Then the other person took the medicine with the same disease, but it doesn't work. So the people will say, oh, the Chinese medicine doesn't work. But actually, the workable prescription is workable. It's only workable for a specific person. So the normal procedure should be diagnose first, to find a qualified TCM doctor, to find the exactly specific reason for yourself, not somebody else. And then the traditional Chinese medicine doctor prescribe for specific you. Okay, then you take the medicine. This is the normal procedure. Okay, so even you can visit a doctor, a TCM doctor, because each doctor, their ability, capacity, the level is very different. So the formula is also different. But I think this is a wonderful, extraordinary, amazing formula, because not only my mother was cured. Of course, even the disease returned twice, but still I have to admit that this formula is curable for my mother. And also he told me, and also I introduced some friends to get some medicine from him, that all of them, their disease have been cured. So I think this is amazing formula, even though I think this practice is against the the rule, because first you should visit the doctor, then let them prescribe for you, not for everybody. But given the situation that we can not find a very experienced, very professional traditional Chinese medicine doctor, so I think this is a practical way to use the method. Also asked somebody, yes, the doctor, the retired teacher also told me that the ingredients of the formula is very safe. There's no specific or toxic materials in the formula, because in some traditional Chinese medicine, some of the ingredients is toxic, because in Chinese medicine almost everything could be a part of the formula. Any food, any plants, any minerals, anything. Okay, so be careful when you use a Chinese medicine formula, but this is safe according to my knowledge. I can't guarantee anything to you because incidents is inexpectable for some person, for some reason. So I don't take any responsibility here. I just introduce and to be a volunteer to you, to introduce you to the person, and he can buy the medicine for you in the local Chinese medicine pharmacy. So then he can ship to a Chinese address in China, or maybe overseas. It's okay if it's not against the customer law. So if you have an interest, if you want to try, okay, you can leave a message. Then I can tell you how to buy the medicine. So when you receive the medicine, you'd better to do some research work on the internet. You can find the scientific way how to boil the medicine. I just want to see a few points. First, when you boil the Chinese medicine, be careful, don't dry up. Okay, if dry up, you have to throw away because it's toxic. When you dry up, it's toxic. So put enough water, proper water, and be careful. Okay, and you should how to monitor your pot. So that's the most important one. So that's all about a Chinese herbal formula for trigeminal facial pain. Thank you for watching.